I am not going to cover Bali, Pattaya, Nepal and all those obvious ones. I want to start with a place that offers amazing history, rich culture and also beautiful beaches. And that for us is Cambodia. The flights are going to be between 30,000 to 35,000 return. The visa is going to be an e-visa and it's going to cost you around 3,000 rupees. For the accommodation, you can find it in the ranges of 1,000 to 2,000 rupees per night. But if you go for a longer stay, let's say for a month or so, then you can get places on rent for under 20,000 rupees for the entire month. Then food and transportation is going to be somewhere around 1,000 to 1,200 per day. And of course, you will explore Angkor Wat, visit Phnom Penh's killing fields and relax at the beaches that Cambodia has to offer. So the total estimated budget is going to be around 75,000 to 90,000 Indian rupees for let's say around 10 to 15 days of travel. And the best tips to save on money are to use local buses and try local food for more affordable options. Now let's get to Cambodia's neighboring country, which is Laos. For a laid-back vibe and lush jungles, impressive waterfalls and the perfect serene landscape, you have to try out Laos. The flights are going to be between 35,000 to 40,000 Indian rupees from most major cities in India. The visa is going to be super simple. It's a visa on arrival and it's going to be around 2,800 Indian rupees. You can easily go for guest houses or hostel style accommodations and that are going to cost you under 1,500 rupees per night. Food and transport are going to be some expenses that you incur on an everyday basis and they will be around 700 to 1,200 Indian rupees per day. For activities, you can go to Kuang Sea Falls, you can explore Vang Vieng and experience the alms-giving ceremony in the Luang Prabang. And you can do all of this in the budget of 70 to 80,000 rupees, let's say for 10 to 15 days. The tips for budget stay are going to be the same as Cambodia. Try to use local buses, try to eat at local food places and stay in guest houses. The third one is the one where I recently returned from and that is Vietnam. My important tip for Vietnam is don't try to do the whole Vietnam in one go, but pick either North Vietnam, Central Vietnam or South Vietnam. In case of North, you can land to Hanoi and explore Sapa, you can go to Ha Long Bay and so many more places. In the Central, we have Da Nang, which is really famous. Da Nang looks like something straight out of the dreamland, and if you want to go to the South, then you can go to Ho Chi Minh City, which is more modern and more city-like, and you can also go and explore the Cu Chi Caves. The flights from India are quite affordable, but they have major connections from some Indian cities. So I went to Vietnam for just around 7 to 8,000 Indian rupees for one side, and I guess it's pretty affordable. So you can check the direct flights also from major Indian cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore and Ahmedabad, etc. For visa, you have to be careful. You have to apply at least 4 to 5 days before you leave. So make sure that you apply online. I have a separate video for it, how you can apply, and it's going to cost you somewhere around 2,200 Indian rupees. If you go for hostels and budget accommodations, then it's going to be between 800 to 1,500 Indian rupees per night. But it may be higher if you want to stay in the city center itself and you want to be in a more luxurious stay. So it'll be around 2,000 per night or so. For food and transport, go for local buses. That's what I did and saved on a lot of money because one side bus was just 20 Indian rupees if I had to go from A point to B point. And for food, you can go to local places. So let's say that you will end up spending somewhere between 800 to 1,200 rupees per day. So the total estimated budget is going to be around 70,000 to 90,000 depending on how you spend your money. And make sure that you book your flights very carefully because there are so many direct connections and they can be really cheap, but you have to just make sure that you find the right dates and the right places to fly from and reach to. Now let's venture a little further away from the Southeast Asia towards the Central Asia. Next is the land of fire, which is Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan has really unique landscapes and it lies at such an interesting topography and geography that you have to explore it. When you land in Baku, you will see really modern architecture, but as and when you start moving away from the city, you'll see so much of history and so much of beautiful topography. The flights are going to be under 30 to 35,000 rupees to and from India, and the visa application is going to be online, so it's going to be around 2,500 Indian rupees. For accommodation, I suggest that you are a little budget conscious and you try to get accommodation under 2,000 rupees per night, which you can easily get. For food and transportation, it will be between 1,000 to 1,300 rupees per day. So the estimated budget for around 8 to 10 days of travel will be under 80,000 rupees if you are budget conscious. You'll of course visit the flame towers, but also do not miss out on the mud volcanoes near Baku. And the special tip is to use Baku card if you want to save on taxes and cover multiple attractions in one go. Let me cover one more country from Central Asia, which is Uzbekistan. Silk Road is where the commerce of the entire world started, and Uzbekistan holds a special place for that. Visiting the country with really yummy teas and also the amazing bread, and also that it fits in the budget, this is a win-win. The flights are pretty affordable from India. They are going to be under 40,000 rupees for the round trip, and you have to apply for an e-visa, which is around 3,000 to 3,500 Indian rupees. Now for the accommodation, try to find accommodation under 2,000 rupees per night, and you can easily find them. For food and transport, try to keep the budget of 1,000 to 1,500 rupees per day. So this way you can do Uzbekistan under 1 lakh rupees. Some tips to save on the money are to definitely explore other cities, but to use trains and buses for the intercity travel. Try to go to the local markets for meals, or try to cook at your hostel or guest house. And finally, do not miss out on making friends with the really warm Uzbek people. Now, coming back from Central Asia to the Southeast Asia again, I'm going to cover Thailand, but not the typical one. So you should definitely explore the northern part of Thailand, which is beautiful beyond your imagination. I went to Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai, and look at the photos. The flights for me were 10,000 one side each, so the flights are going to be under 22,000 Indian rupees from most major cities. You land in Bangkok and then you take the train or bus to the northern part, which is Chiang Mai mostly, and then you can explore so many more cities from there itself. The best part is that Thailand is visa free for Indians for 2 months, and I spent 2 months there. So you can get a place on rent also, and that is going to be under 20,000 Indian rupees per month. If you go for hostels or guest houses, it's going to be under 1,500 rupees for a decent place. And then for food and transportation, try to keep a budget of up to 1,200 rupees per day. Do not miss out on Muay Thai and also Thai cooking classes. And of course, you will easily find where all to go in the northern Thailand. So this way you can do north of Thailand under 90,000 rupees very easily for an entire month. And the tips are to stay in a rented accommodation and also go for local transportation. And the 7th country I'm going to cover is also a visa-free country for Indians right now, which is Malaysia. The flights are pretty affordable, so under 25,000 Indian rupees you can get the return flight. For accommodation, keep a budget of 1,000 to 2,000 Indian rupees per night, and for food, again under 1,200 per night. The cuisine is amazing because they have food from all different countries around the world, so definitely do not miss out on that scene. And your Malaysia travels are not just going to stop at Kuala Lumpur. Definitely go to Ipoh and also near the border of Singapore, which is Johor Bahru. So your total estimated budget for Malaysia is going to be between 70,000 and 85,000 rupees for almost 15 days. The special tips are to make sure that you try out hawker streets and also the local food that you get there. It's usually hygienic, but make sure that you check that. And then use intercity buses for travels to other cities near Kuala Lumpur. And finally, check out the flights and be flexible with the dates so that you end in Kuala Lumpur on the days with the direct connections with the lowest fares. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm going to come back with many more, so make sure that you hit the subscribe button.